morning. This is Bernie Yakovangelo, CEO of Faber Builders, Inc. Welcome you to episode 2 of the Dream Renovation discussion. With me this morning, I got Dominique Chirqua. Good morning, Dominique.
Hi, Bernie. How are you?
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm an agent at Keller Williams and have been doing real estate for almost a decade now, and also now part of Faber Home.
Well, we welcome you not only to the podcast, but we are so happy to have you with Faber Builders, Inc.
Well, thank you for having me. So today we want to talk, dream renovation versus reality. What's actually possible with the budget. Everybody has a Pinterest dreams, but doesn't know, what's realistic for them. What do you think some of the high impact upgrades that maximize the ROI is?
Well, it's really amazing when you talk about it. Oftentimes, the number one thing that people have to recognize is square footage. Adding square footage to your home and placing it in the right spot in order to achieve your dream renovation is critical. And so a lot of people do a lot of things in their home, and they'll spend $35,000, $40,000 just taking out the existing kitchen cabinets, kitchen countertop, kitchen flooring, and replacing it with brand new high-end kitchen cabinets, brand new quartz countertop and quartz sink, and a brand new wooden floor in their kitchen. And they haven't increased the square footage at all, haven't made it larger, haven't made it more comfortable, but spent a lot of money. We caution that because basically you want to open up not only your dream, you want to make this home extremely beneficial and warm and comfortable to you and your family and your friends, but also you want to do it for those that are potentially going to buy your home somewhere down the line. So what I like to tell people is always look at square footage. If you're going to want that gorgeous kitchen, go a little extra, blow out the house a little bit more, put in a nice, beautiful kitchen, do the island that everybody wants, and they want to have people sitting at the island when they're chatting, or they want to use the island for two things. A, when you're entertaining a large group, that becomes your buffet area. Or B, it becomes the area where you're mixing drinks. So as we talk about it, and as we look at these renovations, square footage is critical, and we need to look at that first. So one of the things that we want to see happen is people not only look at square footage, but then again look at garage space. One of the things that we collect more than anything else in this world is the fact that we buy stuff. We're ordering it at Amazon, and we got to have storage. And oftentimes I see a lot of people love their cars. You got to have a car for the summer, you got to have a car for the winter. And so having garage space is critical today, and it's really important for people for storage of vehicles and or other product. The third thing is you want to look at your basement. Basement heights are important. A lot more people are into their golf swing than ever before, and that's men and women. And they like to have the golf simulator in their basement. So there are things today that we do in our homes. Finished basements are huge. So the last thing I talk about when I'm talking to people about remodeling is closet space. We just passed one of the most important holidays of the year, and that is Christmas. Christ's birthday. Now, I'm watching everybody's photographs. I'm watching everybody's, reels. And there are a lot of things that people give or receive at Christmas. And where do those things go? A lot of them go in the closet because they're shoes, and we have to have racks for shoes. And we got different type of clothing but especially in Rochester, New York, you got 4 seasons of clothing. And so sometimes we have 5 because there's not really spring yet, and we're ending winter, so we're in a different zone right there. Or we're not really in the end of summer and into fall, but we're into a different zone. And so the different types of clothing that you need in the closet space is critical today. When we're designing new homes, we're telling people we've designed this home and every bedroom has a walk-in closet. Because we already know everybody collects a lot of clothing, shoes, and other, wear. So those are 4 of the things that I think are critical for the best development of your existing home into a home that's comfortable, that's going to meet your dreams, your desires, your wants, and also get you a cash-on-cash return when you go to sell.
That's awesome. What about some of the common homeowner mistakes that waste money for?
Well, I don't know if they're mistakes, but to the homeowner, they want it. And so when I think, of mistakes, it's some of the finishes. Or some of the money that's spent, and your house was built in the 60s, but you're not improving the energy efficiency. One of the things that we talk about all the time is windows. A lot of people don't replace windows as often as they need, or when they do, it's a major cost. I believe that some organizations charge you $800 to $1,000 per window to change it out and put it in. And getting the right bids, getting the right information, knowing where I'm going with it. What about insulation in the home? What about efficiency of the furnace? We talk about these kind of things very, very seriously today, because when you talk about the operation, and people often forget about the operation of the home, and we get into things like, I want this addition, or I want to build this new home. With new homes, you get the most up-to-date energy efficiency. You get the most up-to-date window efficiencies. But what people haven't been watching critically is their RG&E bill. So as people start to want to do renovations, they should think about, where am I going to put dollars in to make my home more comfortable and reduce the cost of heat and use of electricity. With the electricity, part of the problem is, as we get more televisions, as we get more PlayStations, as we get more electronic devices, what happens is you use more electricity. However, your biggest part of your bills, I've got my own RG&E bills here, and I've been talking to senators, assemblymen throughout the state, working with the Home Builders Association in the state of New York. The delivery charges for electric are higher than the consumption charges for the supply of electric. The natural gas delivery charges are higher than the natural gas consumption. That never was. And probably the answer I'm getting is that it gets by to PSC. So as we are talking about renovations, and you're talking about what's it going to cost me now to, use of electricity and use of different gas furnaces, talk about efficiencies. Talk about what should I be doing to make things better and more comfortable for that home and the home operation in the future.
Those are really good points. How do you think they should phase the projects when they can't afford to do everything all at once?
What I would do is get myself an architect. I would hire someone to design the complete renovation of the home to meet my wish list. What I'd like to have, everything. And then I would begin, getting bids based upon phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. If you don't do it that way, it'll never reach that point where you want it to reach. You should always have a plan. In life, we talk about it all the time. Failing to plan is planning to fail. We need to set out with an architect our overall plan, have him help us decide on the phasing based upon the construction of our home, the type of home we have, and the type of remodeling we want to do, and then start your bidding process.